Good morning everyone. Today we are here to study class 10th geography chapter 1 resource and development. Before that we have seen so many topics in this particular chapter. We have seen meaning of resource, then we have also seen classification of resources, and we have also learned about the development of resources and resource planning and conservation of resources. We have finished with all those topics. Now moving further to next topic, we are having land resources. As over here we are talking about the resources. When we talk about human beings, the most important resources for us is land, water, air. Without all those resources we cannot live. So over here we will discuss deeply, or we will discuss about the land resources in detail. Now when we are talking about the land resources, land is called as a resource. See, we have seen that what is resources. Resources are anything in our environment which can be used to satisfy needs of human beings. That particular thing is called as resource. Anything in our environment which can be used for satisfying the wants of human beings are called as resources. So when we are talking about the land, land is also acting as a resource because we are having multiple uses of land. Human beings can use land in a very different ways. When we are talking about the uses of land, it supports agricultural activities. Food, grains, fruits, vegetables we get from the land when we do agricultural activities on land, and which is very much essential for us because it provides us food. Then transport. All the transport system is related with land. Roads, railway tracks are there, flyovers are there, all these things are on the land only. So transport is also depend upon the land. Natural vegetations are also there in our land, forests, trees, through which we will get so many different things. Then we also have communication system. Communication system is also related with the land. So we can say that over here we can say that land is acting as a resource, or we are saying that land is a resource for human being because it has multiple uses. It supports agricultural activity, it supports transport system, it supports natural vegetation, it also supports our industries. Our industries are there on the land. We also use land for living purposes. We are having houses, buildings, flats which is made in lands or which is made on land. So we can say over here that land is a resource because it supports agricultural activities, transport system, natural vegetation, communication, industries. For the living purposes also we are using the land. So land is very essential resource for human beings or for us. Now when we are talking about the land resource, we say that it has certain limitations. Now what is the limitation of land? It is a finite magnitude. We say that, or it says that land is a finite magnitude, which means that we are having land is limited, or we can say that we cannot extend the land according to our will, or we cannot reduce the land. That means it has a finite magnitude. That means we cannot reduce the land, we cannot decrease the land, or we cannot extend the land, or we cannot increase the land. It is available by nature, and nature has given us a limited land, and we cannot extend it or we cannot reduce it. As we have learned before in other classes, in your lower classes you have learned that we have 72% of water and 28% of land area in whole world. When we are talking about the earth, 72% of earth is covered with water and 28% is land. Or on that 28% we are having forest, we are having mountains, so many different categories of lands are there. So we are having 28% of land, and that 28% of land cannot be extended, or it cannot be reduced, or it cannot be decreased. That is why we say that land is a finite magnitude. It has a limitation that it cannot be extended or it cannot be reduced. जितना है उतना ही वो available रहेगा. We cannot reduce it or we cannot extend it because it is a finite magnitude. Now when we are talking about the land resources, now we will see what are the distribution of land resource in India. How much land is available in India? When we are talking about India, in the whole world, 3.28 million square kilometer land was available for India. We are having 3.28 million square kilometer land with us in India, and we can use that land, but we are using that land only 90%. 10% we are not using it because we are having mountains or forests are there. So only 90% of land is used. 100% land is not used. That is 3.28 million square kilometer land was available for India. Now when we are talking about the distribution of land in India, we are having three sets or three kinds of land. Or land is divided between three categories, we can say. First one is plain land. Second one is mountains, and third one is plateaus. In India, we are having three categories of land. First, we are having plain areas. 43% of land in India is plain areas. Then we are having mountains. 30% of land is having mountains in India, which has peaks and slopes, high peaks and slopes like Himalayan mountains. Then we are having plateaus, central highlands. In India, plateaus are found in central highlands. Plateaus means we are having tabletop land. 27% of land is having a plateaus. That means we are having a peaks, but we also have a flat surface. Then we have a peak. That means it is like a tabletop area. Tabletop area means first we are having a peak, then it is a slope, then it was a flat area, then we are having a slope. Peaks are there, plain areas are there, and slopes are also there, which is called as tabletop area, and it is called as plateaus. So over here we can say that when we are talking about the distribution of land in India, we are having 3.28 million square kilometer of land available in India. Then we are having plain areas which consist of 43% of land. Then we are having mountains which consist of 30% land. And then we are having plateaus which consist of 27% of land. So this is the land distribution system in India. Now moving further, we will see that when we are saying that we are having 3.28 million square kilometer land available in India, and it has been divided between three, that is plain areas, mountains and plateaus. How we are utilizing our land resources, how we are using them, the available land resources which we are having, how we are using them. Now we will see that in land utilization in India. When we are talking about land utilization in India, first we are having forest. Now forest lands have not been used for agricultural purposes. It has not been used for living. It is used for, it is not used for any human purposes, but we can find many Ayurvedic things or many Ayurvedic items from there, or we can get wood from the forest. The forest is also acting as a resource or acting as a land resource, because from forest we get many Ayurvedic medicines. We also get wood from the forest, which is required to make houses or make furnitures. Then secondly, we have land not available for cultivation. In India, we are having certain lands which is there, but they can be cultivated, but we are not cultivating anything on them. We are not using them for agricultural purposes because of different reasons, because maybe those lands are used for making buildings, making offices, making industries, making transport system available for us. Those lands have been used to make flyovers. Those lands have been used for making railway tracks. So second category was land not available for cultivation. That means the land can be used for cultivation, but we are not using them for cultivation. In that we are having two categories. First one is barren or wasteland. That means these lands are wastelands. They are unfertilized lands. If we want, we cannot use them because they are unfertilized. We cannot cultivate anything on them because they are not fertilized, they are unfertilized. They are called as barren or wasteland. Second category was land put to non-agricultural uses. Certain lands are there which can be used for agricultural purposes, but we are not using them for agricultural purposes. We are using them for different other purposes like making houses, buildings, industries, transport system, communication. So we can say that land not available for cultivation is having two categories, that is barren or wasteland, which cannot be used for cultivation because it is not fertile. Secondly, we have land put to non-agricultural uses, which means that they can be cultivated, but we are not cultivating them because we are using them for making houses, buildings, offices, railway tracks, transport system, and etc. Now, the third category of land utilization is other uncultivated land. That means those lands cannot be used for agricultural purposes. They can be cultivated, but we are not cultivating them. Now, these lands also have three categories. First one is permanent pastures and grazing lands. Permanent pastures and grazing lands means there are certain lands which have greeneries, grasslands you can say. Okay, those lands have been used for the purpose of farming, or you can say for the purpose of animals. Animal husbandry is there. For the purpose of animal husbandry also we are using permanent pastures and grazing land, which is grassland lands. Many grasses are there, and they are the natural grasses. Natural grasses are there, and because of which we are not using those lands. Then second category was land under tree crops. There are big trees are there on land, because of which those lands cannot be used for agricultural purposes. Then cultivable wasteland. Cultivable wasteland means that land can be used for agricultural purposes, but we are not using them for cultivation for more than 5 years. If any land is not cultivated for more than 5 years, it is called as cultivable wasteland. Now next one is fallow lands. Fallow lands means we are having two categories in fallow lands. Fallow lands means the lands which is not being used, not for agricultural purposes and not for non-agricultural purposes. Those lands have not been used for any purposes. They are called as fallow lands. Now fallow lands are also having two categories. First one is current fallow. Current fallow means no cultivation for more than 1 year. That means the land has not been cultivated for more than 1 year. For more than 1 year, the land has not been cultivated. Second one is other than current fallow. Other than current fallow means the land has no cultivation between 1 to 5 years. Between 1 to 5 years, there is no cultivation on land. And the last one is net sown area. This is the area of land which we are using for agricultural purposes, which is called as grass cropped area. That means these lands, these net sown area lands are properly used for agricultural purposes for more than one time. We are growing crops on them. They are called as net sown area. So in this particular video, we have learned about the land resources. We have seen the uses of land resources. We have seen that land resources supports many different activities for human beings. We also have seen that it is a finite magnitude, which means we cannot increase the land or we cannot decrease the land which is available by nature. Then we have seen that distribution of land in India. In India, 3.28 million square kilometer land was available, and it has been divided between three, which is plains, mountains and plateaus. Then we have seen land utilization, how much land is utilized in India for agricultural purposes or for non-agricultural purposes. I hope you will understand. Now moving further, in next topic we will see how to conserve the land resources. Thank you.